Turning 50 doesn't just add another birthday to the calendar. It quietly changes the way your body works. Not all at once. Not because you've suddenly become unhealthy, but because deep inside your body, the rules begin to shift. The energy that once seemed endless isn't quite as reliable. You don't recover from exercise as quickly. A few extra pounds become harder to lose. Small aches seem to linger longer than they used to. And every now and then, a familiar name takes just a little longer to come to mind. Most people accept these changes as an unavoidable part of aging. But what if many of them are actually the result of specific biological processes that scientists now understand far better than they did just a few decades ago? After the age of 50, several important systems inside your body begin changing at the same time. Your muscles gradually lose strength. Your bones become less dense. Your blood vessels become less flexible. Your gut microbiome begins to shift. And even the tiny power plants inside your cells, called mitochondria, become less efficient at producing energy. At the same time, your body slowly enters a state researchers often call inflammaging. Unlike the inflammation you experience after an injury, inflammaging is subtle. You don't necessarily feel it happening. Instead, it's a slow, persistent, low-grade inflammation that quietly affects tissues throughout the body for years. Over time, it has been linked to conditions such as cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, reduced mobility, and many of the chronic health problems that become more common later in life. That might sound discouraging, but here's the part many people never hear. These biological changes aren't simply happening to you. They're also responding to you. Every day, your body reacts to thousands of signals. How much you sleep, how often you move, whether you smoke, how you manage stress, and perhaps most importantly, the foods you choose to eat. No fruit can stop aging. No food can reverse the passage of time. But certain fruits become far more valuable after 50 because they contain nutrients and plant compounds that support the very systems that are changing as you grow older. Some help protect your brain. Others support healthier blood vessels. Some help maintain stronger bones, calmer joints, healthier digestion, better vision, and even the tiny structures inside your cells that produce the energy you rely on every single day. Today, we'll look at 7 fruits that scientists have studied extensively, not because they're trendy superfoods, but because they may help support healthier aging where it matters most. Let's begin with the organ many people fear losing the most: your brain. Of all the changes that come with aging, memory loss is often the one people fear the most. Forgetting where you left your keys is one thing. Struggling to remember a familiar name, losing your train of thought in the middle of a conversation, or finding it harder to learn something new can feel far more unsettling. The good news is that these changes don't happen all at once, and they aren't driven by a single cause. As we age, the brain is exposed to years of oxidative stress and low-grade inflammation. Blood flow can gradually decline, and the communication between brain cells becomes less efficient. Together, these changes can affect attention, processing speed, and memory. One of the most vulnerable regions is the hippocampus, a small structure deep within the brain that's essential for forming new memories and learning new information. This is where blueberries begin to stand out. Despite their small size, blueberries are one of the richest natural sources of compounds called anthocyanins. These are the pigments responsible for their deep blue color, but they're also powerful antioxidants that may help protect brain cells from oxidative damage. Research suggests anthocyanins can cross the blood-brain barrier, allowing them to reach brain tissue directly. Once there, they appear to help reduce oxidative stress and support healthy communication between neurons. Some studies have also linked blueberry consumption with increased activity of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of BDNF as a type of fertilizer for your brain. It helps existing neurons survive, supports the formation of new neural connections, and plays an important role in learning and memory. While BDNF naturally declines with age, lifestyle factors, including physical activity and certain foods, may help support healthy levels. Blueberries aren't a magic solution, and eating a handful won't suddenly sharpen your memory overnight. But over time, including them as part of an overall healthy diet may help support the brain's natural defenses against age-related decline. Several clinical studies have found improvements in aspects of memory and executive function in older adults who regularly consumed blueberries or blueberry-rich foods, although results can vary depending on the individual and the amount consumed. For most people, a practical goal is about 1 cup of fresh blueberries, or the equivalent amount of frozen blueberries, several times a week. Frozen blueberries retain most of their nutrients, making them an excellent option year-round. It's a simple habit, but one that may help protect one of the most remarkable organs in your body. Because keeping your memories isn't just about preserving the past. It's about staying connected to the people, experiences, and moments that continue to give life its meaning. But a healthy brain still depends on something even more fundamental. Every thought, every heartbeat, and every movement requires energy. And that energy begins inside microscopic structures found in nearly every cell of your body, your mitochondria. If your brain is the command center, then your cells are the workforce that keeps your body running. And every one of those cells depends on tiny structures called mitochondria. They're often described as the power plants of the cell, because they convert the food you eat into the energy your body can actually use. Every heartbeat, every step, every muscle contraction, and every thought relies on them. When you're younger, your body is remarkably good at maintaining these microscopic power plants. Damaged mitochondria are identified, broken down, and replaced with healthier ones, allowing your cells to keep producing energy efficiently. But as we get older, that recycling system begins to slow. Instead of clearing out worn-out mitochondria, the body gradually allows more of them to accumulate. These aging mitochondria become less efficient, produce more harmful byproducts known as reactive oxygen species, and generate less energy. Scientists believe this gradual decline contributes to many of the symptoms people often associate with aging: reduced stamina, slower recovery, muscle weakness, and persistent fatigue. This is where pomegranates have attracted growing scientific interest. Pomegranates are rich in natural compounds called elagitannins. By themselves, these compounds aren't the main story. The real transformation happens in your gut. When certain beneficial gut bacteria break down elagitannins, they produce a compound known as urolithin A. Researchers have been studying urolithin A because it appears to support a process called mitophagy. Think of mitophagy as your body's quality control system for mitochondria. Instead of allowing damaged cellular power plants to remain in service, mitophagy helps identify and remove them, so healthier mitochondria can take their place. It's similar to replacing old, inefficient batteries with new ones. The goal isn't to create more energy out of nowhere, it's to help your cells work more efficiently with the resources they already have. This has made urolithin A an exciting area of aging research, particularly for its potential role in supporting muscle function and health later in life. But there's an important detail that often gets overlooked. Not everyone produces the same amount of urolithin A. Whether your body can convert pomegranate compounds into this molecule depends largely on the composition of your gut microbiome. Some people have the right bacteria to produce significant amounts, while others produce very little. In other words, the health of your gut may influence how much you benefit from the fruit itself. Even so, pomegranates remain an excellent source of antioxidants and other beneficial plant compounds that support overall health, regardless of how much urolithin A your body produces. Fresh pomegranate arils are an excellent choice, and unsweetened 100% pomegranate juice can also be a convenient option when consumed in moderation. While no fruit can reverse the aging process, pomegranates remind us of an important principle. Healthy aging doesn't begin at the surface. It begins deep inside your cells, where energy is created one molecule at a time. But having more energy is only part of the equation. If chronic inflammation is quietly affecting your joints every day, even the healthiest cells can't make movement feel effortless. Pain has a way of changing how we live. It doesn't usually arrive all at once. Instead, it creeps in quietly. A knee that feels stiff after sitting for too long, an aching shoulder that lingers for days after yard work. Joints that once moved effortlessly now seem to need a little more time to warm up every morning. Many people assume this is simply the price of getting older, but much of that discomfort is linked to the same process we introduced earlier: chronic, low-grade inflammation. Unlike the short-term inflammation that helps your body heal after an injury, chronic inflammation can remain active for years. It slowly affects muscles, joints, blood vessels, and other tissues, contributing to stiffness, discomfort, and reduced mobility. Scientists often measure this using markers in the blood, one of the best known being C-reactive protein, or CRP. Elevated CRP levels don't point to a specific disease, but they can indicate that the body is experiencing ongoing inflammation. This is where tart cherries have earned a reputation that goes far beyond their flavor. Their deep red color comes from plant compounds called anthocyanins, the same family of antioxidants found in blueberries. But tart cherries contain a unique combination of these compounds that has been studied extensively for its anti-inflammatory effects. Research suggests these polyphenols may help reduce oxidative stress and support the body's natural response to inflammation. Several studies have also found that regularly consuming tart cherry juice or concentrates may reduce soreness after exercise and improve recovery, particularly in older adults and athletes. While they're not a replacement for proper recovery or medical treatment, they may help the body bounce back more efficiently after physical activity. Tart cherries have another potential advantage. They may help lower levels of uric acid, a waste product that normally dissolves in the blood and leaves the body through the kidneys. When uric acid levels become too high, crystals can form inside joints, triggering the intense pain associated with gout. Research suggests tart cherries may help support healthy uric acid levels, which is one reason they've attracted attention among people who experience recurring gout attacks. However, they shouldn't be viewed as a substitute for prescribed treatment. Whether your goal is to stay active, enjoy long walks, play with your grandchildren, or simply move through daily life with less discomfort, reducing unnecessary inflammation can make a meaningful difference. For most people, unsweetened tart cherry juice, frozen tart cherries, or whole dried tart cherries without added sugar are practical ways to include them in the diet. Because tart cherry juice naturally contains concentrated sugars, moderation is still important, especially for people managing blood sugar. Healthy joints aren't just about comfort. They're about preserving independence, the ability to climb stairs without hesitation, to get up from the floor without assistance, to keep doing the activities you love for years to come. But strong joints need something solid beneath them. And that brings us to the framework supporting your entire body, your bones. When people think about aging, they often notice changes they can see: more wrinkles, more gray hair, less muscle. But one of the most important changes happens completely out of sight: your bones. Although they may feel solid and permanent, your bones are living tissue. Every day, they're constantly being broken down and rebuilt through a process called bone remodeling. Specialized cells called osteoclasts remove old or damaged bone, while another group of cells known as osteoblasts builds new bone in its place. When you're younger, this process stays remarkably balanced. The amount of new bone being created keeps pace with the amount that's removed. But after the age of 50, that balance begins to shift. Bone breakdown gradually starts to outpace bone formation. For women, this process often accelerates after menopause, due to the sharp decline in estrogen. It's a hormone that plays a critical role in maintaining bone density. Men experience bone loss more gradually, but they aren't immune to it. Because the process is painless, most people don't realize anything is wrong until a minor fall results in a fracture that might not have happened years earlier. This gradual weakening is known as osteopenia, and if it progresses further, it can develop into osteoporosis, a condition that leaves bones fragile and far more likely to break. That's why protecting bone health before a fracture occurs is so important. One fruit that has received surprising attention from researchers is the humble prune. For decades, prunes were mostly associated with digestive health. But over the last several years, scientists have begun studying them for an entirely different reason: bone preservation. Prunes contain a unique combination of nutrients and plant compounds, including vitamin K, boron, potassium, and a variety of polyphenols, that may help support normal bone remodeling. Research suggests these compounds may help reduce the activity of osteoclasts, the cells responsible for breaking down bone, while supporting the body's natural ability to maintain healthy bone structure. Several clinical studies, particularly in postmenopausal women, have found that regularly eating prunes may help slow the loss of bone mineral density in certain parts of the skeleton. While research is still ongoing, the results have made prunes one of the most extensively studied fruits for bone health. That doesn't mean prunes can replace calcium, vitamin D, strength training, or medications prescribed for osteoporosis. Healthy bones depend on many factors working together. But adding a simple serving of prunes to an overall balanced diet may become one more tool to help support skeletal health over time. Most studies have used about 5 to 6 prunes per day, although some earlier research examined larger amounts. Even a smaller daily serving may be easier to maintain consistently, because consistency matters far more than perfection. Strong bones aren't something you notice every morning. You notice them years later, when you're still able to travel, climb stairs, carry groceries, and remain independent. They're the silent framework that supports every movement you make. But even the healthiest bones can't do their job if your digestive system isn't absorbing the nutrients they need. And after 50, that system begins changing too. It's not a topic most people enjoy talking about, but after the age of 50, digestive health becomes one of the biggest influences on overall well-being. Constipation becomes more common. Bloating may appear more frequently. Some people notice that foods they once tolerated easily now seem to upset their stomach. Even nutrient absorption can gradually become less efficient. These changes aren't simply inconvenient. They can affect almost every system in the body. Your digestive tract is where vitamins, minerals, protein, healthy fats, and countless other nutrients enter your bloodstream. If your gut isn't functioning well, your body may struggle to make full use of even the healthiest diet. Another important change happens inside your intestines. Trillions of bacteria live in your digestive system, forming what's known as the gut microbiome. These microorganisms help digest certain foods, produce beneficial compounds, support the immune system, and even communicate with the brain through what's often called the gut-brain axis. As we age, the diversity of these beneficial bacteria tends to decline. Researchers believe this shift may contribute to inflammation, weaker immune function, digestive discomfort, and changes in metabolism. Supporting the gut becomes increasingly important, not just for digestion, but for overall healthy aging. This is where kiwi fruit stands apart. Unlike many fruits, kiwi fruit contains a natural enzyme called actinidin. Actinidin helps break down proteins during digestion, allowing food to move through the digestive system more efficiently. While it's not a cure for digestive disorders, it may help some people feel less heavy or uncomfortable after protein-rich meals. Kiwi fruit is also an excellent source of both soluble and insoluble fiber. These two types of fiber work together in different ways. Soluble fiber absorbs water and forms a gel-like substance that helps soften stool, while insoluble fiber adds bulk and encourages regular bowel movements. This combination has made kiwi fruit one of the most researched whole fruits for relieving occasional constipation. Several clinical studies have found that eating kiwi fruit regularly can improve bowel movement frequency and stool consistency in people experiencing mild constipation, often with fewer side effects than some fiber supplements. Beyond digestion, kiwi fruit also provides an impressive amount of vitamin C, an essential nutrient that supports immune function, collagen production, and protection against oxidative stress. Just 1 or 2 kiwi fruits a day can provide a substantial amount of your daily vitamin C needs, while also delivering fiber and other beneficial plant compounds. Perhaps most importantly, a healthier digestive system supports everything else we've discussed. The antioxidants in blueberries, the polyphenols in pomegranates, the nutrients that help maintain your bones. None of them can do much good if your body can't efficiently absorb and utilize them. Healthy aging isn't just about choosing the right foods. It's also about making sure your body is ready to use them. And once those nutrients enter your bloodstream, they can travel to one of the most precious senses many people hope to preserve for as long as possible: their vision. Vision is something most of us rarely think about until it begins to change. It often starts subtly. You need brighter light to read a menu. Road signs seem a little less sharp at night. Colors don't appear quite as vibrant as they once did. Over time, these small changes can become a reminder that your eyes, like every other part of your body, are aging too. While some age-related changes in vision are completely normal, others are linked to gradual damage inside one of the most delicate structures in the body, the retina. At the center of the retina is a tiny area called the macula. The macula is responsible for your sharp, central vision. It allows you to read, recognize faces, drive safely, and see fine details. As we grow older, this area becomes increasingly vulnerable to oxidative stress and years of exposure to light, making it more susceptible to age-related decline. Protecting the macula has become a major focus of nutritional research. One group of nutrients has consistently stood out: lutein and zeaxanthin. These two carotenoids naturally accumulate in the macula, where they act almost like an internal pair of sunglasses. They help filter high-energy blue light and protect delicate retinal cells from oxidative damage caused by sunlight and normal metabolism. As we age, maintaining healthy levels of these protective pigments becomes increasingly important. This is where avocados offer something unique. Although leafy greens are among the richest sources of lutein and zeaxanthin, avocados provide an important advantage. They are naturally rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. These healthy fats don't just benefit your cardiovascular system, they also improve your body's ability to absorb fat-soluble nutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin. In other words, the fats in avocados help deliver these protective compounds more efficiently, allowing your body to make better use of them. Some research has even suggested that regularly eating avocados may increase blood levels of lutein and improve the amount that reaches the eyes and the brain. Interestingly, lutein doesn't only support vision. Researchers have also found that it accumulates in brain tissue, where it may play a role in supporting cognitive function as we age. Scientists are still exploring this connection, but it highlights how closely the health of our eyes and brain may be linked. Avocados also provide fiber, potassium, folate, and vitamin E, nutrients that contribute to overall cardiovascular and metabolic health, both of which indirectly support healthy vision by maintaining good blood flow throughout the body. A practical serving is about 1/3 to 1/2 of a medium avocado as part of a balanced meal. Whether it's added to a salad, spread on whole grain toast, or paired with eggs, it's an easy way to incorporate both healthy fats and valuable nutrients into your daily routine. Your eyesight is more than just the ability to see clearly. It's the ability to recognize a loved one's smile, watch your grandchildren grow, to enjoy a beautiful sunset, or read your favorite book without struggle. Protecting that gift begins long before vision problems appear. But even the healthiest eyes depend on one essential system to deliver oxygen and nutrients every second of every day: your cardiovascular system. Your brain depends on it. Your muscles depend on it. Your eyes depend on it. In fact, every organ we've discussed so far relies on one remarkable network that's constantly working behind the scenes: your circulatory system. Every second, your heart pumps oxygen and nutrients through nearly 60,000 miles of blood vessels, delivering life to trillions of cells throughout your body. But like many other systems, your blood vessels gradually change with age. When you're younger, healthy arteries are naturally flexible. They expand and contract with every heartbeat, allowing blood to flow smoothly throughout the body. After 50, however, those vessels often become stiffer. Years of oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, and normal aging can damage the delicate inner lining of the arteries, known as the endothelium. This thin layer of cells does far more than simply line your blood vessels. It's responsible for producing a molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide acts as one of the body's most important natural signals. It tells blood vessels to relax and widen, allowing blood to flow more easily. When nitric oxide production begins to decline, blood vessels become less responsive. Circulation may become less efficient, and over time, this can contribute to elevated blood pressure and increase the strain on the cardiovascular system. This is one reason heart disease becomes significantly more common as we grow older. The encouraging news is that lifestyle choices, including diet, can help support healthy endothelial function. Among the fruits that have received considerable scientific attention are citrus fruits, including oranges, mandarins, lemons, and grapefruit. Citrus fruits are rich in a group of plant compounds called flavonoids, particularly one known as hesperidin. Researchers have found that hesperidin may help support the production of nitric oxide by promoting the activity of an enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase, or eNOS. Think of eNOS as the body's nitric oxide factory. When it functions well, your arteries are better able to relax, improving circulation, and helping your cardiovascular system respond more efficiently to the body's needs. Several clinical studies have found that regularly consuming citrus flavonoids may support healthy blood vessel function and modestly improve markers of vascular health as part of an overall heart-healthy lifestyle. Citrus fruits also provide generous amounts of vitamin C, an antioxidant that helps protect cells from oxidative stress and supports the production of collagen, an important structural protein found throughout blood vessels, skin, and connective tissue. For most people, enjoying a whole orange or another citrus fruit each day is a simple way to add fiber, hydration, vitamins, and beneficial plant compounds to their diet. Whole fruit is generally a better choice than juice because it contains the natural fiber that helps slow sugar absorption while also promoting fullness. But before you reach for every citrus fruit, there's one that's different. In fact, one particular citrus fruit can interact with certain prescription medications in a way that many people really don't realize. And if you're over 50, it's something you should know before adding it to your daily routine. Grapefruit is a healthy fruit for many people, but if you take certain prescription medications, it deserves special attention. Unlike other citrus fruits, grapefruit contains natural compounds called furanocoumarins. These compounds can block an important enzyme in your small intestine called CYP3A4. Normally, this enzyme helps break down many medications before they enter your bloodstream. When grapefruit blocks this enzyme, much more of the medication can enter your body than your doctor intended. This can increase the risk of side effects, and in some cases, those side effects can become serious. Some cholesterol-lowering statins, certain blood pressure medications, some anti-anxiety medications, and several other prescription drugs can all be affected. The exact interaction depends on the specific medication. Some drugs are affected significantly, while others are not affected at all. This doesn't mean everyone should avoid grapefruit. It simply means that if you take prescription medications, it's worth asking your doctor or pharmacist whether grapefruit is safe for you. Never stop taking a prescribed medication or make dietary changes without speaking to your healthcare provider first. Understanding interactions like this is another reminder that healthy aging isn't only about eating nutritious foods. It's also about making informed choices that fit your own health situation. Growing older is something none of us can avoid, but how we age is influenced every single day by the choices we make. The foods we've discussed today aren't miracle cures. They won't stop aging, and they can't guarantee perfect health. But together, they provide nutrients and plant compounds that support many of the systems that naturally become more vulnerable after the age of 50. Your brain, your heart, your bones, your digestive system, your eyes, and ultimately your ability to remain active, independent, and enjoy life for years to come. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more evidence-based healthy aging content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.